Hello and Minglaba, I'm Henry Zin. Welcome to MI Radio's Myanmar Today, where we bring you the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. David Henry prepared a report on Luttor's discussion to join ASEAN Center for Active Aging and Innovation Agreement. Another report on lottery tickets on high demand with increasing public interest. Williamson got a story on cultural exchange through films. And lastly, we have a report on Cartoon Light Festival being alive for 76th time. Well, before we get to the reports, here are some local news. The Union Election Commission and the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, International IDEA, jointly organized the training to enhance electoral capacity for the 2020 general election in Naypyidaw on Wednesday. UEC Chairman U Lateng spoke about the needs of higher quality and capacity for the chairpersons and members of the subcommittees and staff to competently perform their tasks in accordance with laws, bylaws and regulations. The course comprises 10 chapters. U Lateng urged the trainees to systematically learn the lessons since it is a teacher training course and interestingly note their practical experiences and knowledge to redeliver the lessons they learned without difficulties to the election, subcommissions and members of polling stations in their local places. Union Minister for Electricity and Energy, U Win Kind, received Norwegian ambassador to Myanmar, Ms. Tuna Tennis, in Naypyidaw on Wednesday. The officials discussed Norwegian assistance to Myanmar in the areas of hydropower technologies, drawing grid code in power distribution, environmental and social management and English proficiency trainings under the program Phase 2 of Norwegian Water Resources and Energy Directorate, development of oil and natural gas sector under the Oil for Development program, training programs for human resource development and cooperation in natural resources management. They also held talks on data collections in electricity and energy sectors, data storage and sharing, exchange of analysis on environmental impacts and safety measures, ongoing and long-term and short-term plan for electricity generation in Myanmar, hydropower projects implemented by Norway and oil and natural gas sector. Myanmar delegation led by Deputy Attorney General Wu Win-Min attended China Forum on International Legal Cooperation in Guangzhou, South China's Guangdong province, from 9th to the 11th of November. The forum discussed investment laws on the Belt and Road Initiative, commercial laws and regulations, international cooperation in the protection of intellectual property, and rules and regulations for companies and international enterprises. Deputy Attorney General Wu Win-Min also talked about the advantages and economic opportunities of the BRI, which was initiated by the Chinese President Xi Jinping and agreed by over 150 countries and international organizations. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. In the second time Pidangsu Luttor 14th session held on Wednesday, the Luttor representatives discussed about Myanmar to join the agreement regarding the ASEAN Center for Active Aging and Innovation. David Henry has more.
In the second time Pidangsu Luttor 14th section held on November 13, the Luttor representatives discussed about Myanmar to sign the agreement regarding the ASEAN Center for Active Aging and Innovation ACAI. The ASEAN Center for Active Aging and Innovation missions are to serve as a knowledge center on active aging and innovation, support evidence, inform policies, strategies and guidelines on active aging, implementing capacity development program, and conduct research and development and innovation on active aging in ASEAN. At Pidangsu Luttor U Samye ARE Region's Constituency 3 discussed.
As the Elderly People Law Section 2, Subsection Kaji stated, all Myanmar citizens above the age of 60 is recognized as elderly people. About 10% of Myanmar citizens are the elderly people. That's why for the elderly people to have an active aging life is an essential factor. As there are very little information regarding the elderly people's aging sector, the first research for elderly people has been made in 2012. To mark International Day of Older Persons, United Nations Population Fund, in collaboration with the Ministry of Social Welfare, Relief and Resettlement as well as Health Aid International Myanmar, held a ceremony for the elderly people in Naypyidaw on October 1st, 2012. If the elderly people could enjoy good health in their lifetime, it would be a great help for themselves, for the families, and from there for the country as well. It would be invaluable and immeasurable benefits. The benefits that we might get by signing ACAI may consist of more consistent manners in tracking the information for the elderly people and promoting active aging policy, as well as to make better advanced innovative aging lifestyles in the future.
The center would also facilitate collaboration among ASEAN member states, international and regional partners in supporting active aging in ASEAN. The center will be located within the compound of the Ministry of Public Health of Thailand in Nonthaburi Province. Dr. Saimya A. Dala constituency also discussed.
Taking care of elderly people is one of our Myanmar's tradition and culture. It is also one of our nation value that we are proud of. It is also recognized as blessing to care the people who live long and older than us as Buddha's teaching. If we pay a close attention to the challenges that we are having in our country, we can understand that information of all sorts is needed to solve these challenges. That is why this is the best circumstances for us to participate in ACAI to get enough information regarding the elderly people and solve what we need to in this sector, slowly, which might have a positive impact in overall improvement of our country.
General knowledge time. What is healthy or active aging? WHO defines healthy aging or active aging as the process of developing and maintaining the functional ability that enables well-being in older age. Functional ability is about having the capabilities that enable all people to be and do what they have reason to value. This includes a person's ability to meet their basic needs, to learn, grow, and make decisions, to be mobile, to build and maintain relationships, and to contribute to society. Regarding the discussion of little representatives for Myanmar to sign in the agreement of ASEAN Center for Active Aging and Innovation ACAI, Minister of Health and Sports Dr. Myanmar Today also discussed.
To summarize all the discussions and suggestions that has been made for this topic, by signing in agreement for the ASEAN Center for Active Aging and Innovation, Myanmar will be able to access all the information and research result that has been made for the elderly people in ACAI. Moreover, Myanmar will be able to do multi-centric researches with international countries. We may also be able to attend essential workshops for the center and share the processes. Furthermore, as we strive forward to make elderly people policy in the future, this center will be of a big help in processing information and making researches. With all those being said, the Ministry of Health and Sports agree and suggest to sign an agreement regarding the ASEAN Center for Active Aging and Innovation.
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on Luto's discussion to join ASEAN Center for Active Aging and Innovation Agreement. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. During the day in Yangon, it'll be partly sunny and the skies will be clear at night. The temperature throughout the day will be somewhere in the 30s and there's about 11% chance of rain for the day, and we expect winds of up to 9 km per hour. In Naypyidaw, it'll be partly sunny with a thunderstorm around in the afternoon, and the night sky will be filled with patchy clouds. The temperature throughout the day will be somewhere in the 30s as well, and there's about a 40% chance of rain for the day, and we expect winds of up to 6 km per hour. In Mandalay, mostly sunny and very warm during the day, but we expect clear to partly cloudy skies at night. The temperature for the day will be somewhere in the 30s, and there's only about 25% chance of rain for the day, and we expect winds of up to 7 km per hour. Stay with us, we have another report coming up and then we'll have a look at the stocks and currency exchange rates. This week we find out more on state lottery business. The state-run lottery called Ombalay lottery, is a form of gambling that is legally granted by the government. The state lottery was introduced in an attempt to raise the state revenues, but also to help the citizens fulfill their financial dreams. For more on this money-making news, Petain and Zerman will tell us more.
State lottery tickets are now on high demand again. We have found out the fact from the ticket distributors and retailers. The government introduced 1,000 jets ticket as of February this year. 1,000 jets is less than $1, but at the same time, the ticket sales significantly declined as only few people came to buy the tickets due to the price hike, and that was the main reason why some distributors and agents faced with a huge loss. However, recently, the lottery industry is back on the track. More people turned to buy the tickets after the state increased the number of prizes and also the price amount. The ticket retailer U La Win said,
Speaking of the difference, 500 jets tickets were on heavy demand because it is quite cheap. But we have gone through the tough time until recently after 1,000 jets tickets started to come out. At first, it has been difficult for us to sell the 1,000 jets tickets. With a huge loss from the business, we made up discount plan, setting up the lower price like 500 jets at first, and then 700 to 800 jets. Now we can see people buy more and more tickets, and the business seems quite better than previous month. But with the challenges at first, it was so difficult for us to continue business. We had to reduce the number of tickets. Now with open season coming in, there are more and more people who come to buy.
Despite the lottery ticket industry sees back to the progress, it remains a challenge for the retailers and vendors to set the retail price at 1,000 jets, which is the state set price. As a better solution, the lottery ticket agent said it would be great if the retailers and vendors could buy the tickets from the township IRD offices. They also suggest calling for to enact the lottery law, particularly to better control the manipulation of lottery market. They also suggest calling for to enact the lottery law, particularly to better control the manipulation of lottery market. One of the ticket retailers also shared his opinion.
Previously, the capital money for the combination of 10 lottery tickets is 5,000 jats. But now with 1,000 jats per ticket, the amount increased to 10,000 jats. Despite the capital to double, the return profit is even less than before. So frankly to say, in order to get back the situation before, we have to try hard again. There seems to be chances of the price cut if the state lottery directorate will increase the circulation. It is said they have a plan for it. Then it will be an interesting thing for the lottery business community. The more letters on the ticket, the better payoff.
A regular customer also told us her point of view.
Previously, I only bought lottery tickets by chance, but now it becomes a routine I buy every month. From that time onward, I have won one prize. The highest prize is 1.5 billion jets. That's an incredible amount and so fascinating, and I'm really happy to check my number on winning list. In my opinion, I don't think there is not much difference between 500 and 1,000 jets tickets. The cost is not much different. Nowadays, due to the inflation, everything becomes expensive, so it is no wonder the ticket price also climbs up. And lottery is a thing people should buy and see they are lucky enough or not. With that little money, lottery can turn one's life into a man of a great fortune overnight. Anyway, everybody should try once a month. My advice is just buy it once a month.
The 9th state lottery opening event was held on November 1st. In October, 33 million tickets were sold out. and a total sum of 18,000 million, including 250 million from the unclaimed prizes, was transferred to the winners. According to the State Lottery Directorate, many people prizes starting from 1 lakh to 10 lakh were included.
That's a report on the lottery tickets on high demand with increasing public interest. Here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,518 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 216 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,671 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,948 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,114 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 365 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 50 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,464. Silver is at $17. And Brent crude oil is at $56. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI went up 500 and it's now at 11,500. MTSH dropped 50 and it's now at 3,850. MCB is at 8,200. FPP is at 23,000. TMH remains at 3,000. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio live on the website. We're also running on FM 96.1 in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Or simply download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Well, we have more reports for you, so let's get on with it. With the aim to have cultural exchange between Myanmar and China, Chinese films were shown to the students from Myanmar International School at the China Cultural Center on Wednesday. Students were also given the chance to learn the art and literature at the center. Williamson reports.
Cultural and traditional exchanges are some of the important elements in diplomatic relations between the nations. Therefore, it is important that we watch foreign films which impart the traditions and cultures of other countries. Therefore, in order to have cultural exchange between Myanmar and China, the Chinese Film Festival was launched at Chinese Cultural Center in Yangon on 13th of November. Some of the famous Chinese films were screened to the students from Myanmar International School with the aim for learning about neighboring countries' cultures. Speaking to MI Radio, Ms. Zhu Ling, director of Chinese Cultural Center, said,
今天我们有很多的这个小学生来观看这个中国电影。
For today's show, we have 6 films to show the students from Myanmar International Schools, and all the 6 films are all related to Chinese ethnic cultures and traditions. Showing movie is one of the most effective ways to attract the people to explore other cultures and traditions. As we show the films, the people will also be able to learn about Chinese cultures and traditions.
Speaking on what is the main purpose for this film festival and what are the future plans on collaborating with Myanmar film industry, Ms. Zhu Ling also explains.
我觉得如果有可能的话，我们非常希望把
To give answer on the question whether we have planned to show Myanmar movies in China or not, of course, we had planned to show some of the famous movies in China with Chinese subtitle or Chinese dubbing. And the main aim of today's festival is to show Chinese cultures to the audience here in Myanmar through films, as movies are effective tools in entertainment area. But we don't only aim for cultural exchange here. By coming to Chinese Cultural Center, one can watch films and we have art exhibition as to enjoy here. In addition to that, we also have bookstore, so the student can borrow the book and learn more about the diplomatic relation between China and Myanmar.
Speaking to MI Radio, Ms. Xiao Min, teacher from Myanmar International School, also said,
Myanmar is really a nice place to live in with a very beautiful nature, and people here are very nice. And China Culture Center here in Yangon is really a good chance for all the students who are interested into Chinese culture, or even some parents, to get a glimpse of authentic Chinese culture. to have a chance to watch really authentic Chinese movies, some Chinese cultural exhibitions. Yeah, it's really a good place for people to get to know some part of Chinese culture.
And now we have Mr. Jimmy Wise, teacher from Myanmar International School, also spoke to MI Radio and said,
Yeah, well, it was cool. I didn't realise I was coming until today, and now I'm here. It's been a really good experience just to see. Well, the more cultures you can experience, the better. So I've been to China myself, and so just getting a little taste of it over here in Myanmar and seeing how they like portray China and stuff to like the outside world. Yeah, it's really interesting. I think the kids all enjoyed it. They were all laughing along with the film, all the funny parts. The teachers enjoyed it as well. I enjoyed it. It was good to see. Because obviously I just experienced China when I was over there from like a normal China's like perspective, but seeing it out in the mountains and stuff, seeing the kind of lives that they live, it was really interesting. Good to learn about it.
Miss Maria, a student from Myanmar International School who watched the film and spoke to MI Radio, and she also said,
I really liked the movie because it showed a lot of friendliness and teamwork. And it shows that when you work together and try your best, you can achieve anything. The part I liked was when the teacher first came to the village and the children were very excited to learn football.
This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio.
That's a report on cultural exchange through films. And here's the last report on Cartoon Light Festival being alive for 76th time. At lower block of 13th Street in Yangon, the annual event, which takes place during the Zhangdan Festival, Cartoon Light Festival, was successfully held for this year from Saturday to Wednesday. This is the festival which was initiated by the great cartoonist Wu Ba-chan. This becomes a tradition, and it is now in its 76th year.
The 76th time Cartoon Light Festival was held from 9 to 13 November at lower block of 13th Street, Yangon. This is the annual event happening during the Zhangdan Festival. Going back to 76 years ago, it was firstly organized by cartoonist Wu Ba-chan, who is the father of Myanmar cartoon industry, with his fellow cartoonist Wu Heng-sun in order to present their works of art, which were banned from the newspaper. The cartoons are printed and handed along the street for public display. To honor cartoonist Wu Ba-chan, the Cartoon Festival was continued by the cartoonist after his death. This festival held at the lower block of 13th Street, which was the residence of cartoonist Wu Ba-chan, is also publicly known as Wu Ba-chan Cartoon Festival. In this year 2019, the 76th time Cartoon Festival was alive with loaded observers.
Cartoon ဆရာပေါင်းက190နီးပါးရှိပါတယ်။ Cartoon အချက်ရည်ပေါင်းကတော့430နီးပါးရှိပါတယ်။
About 170 cartoonists have participated for this year's Cartoon Light Festival with over 430 printed cartoons. We have the annual contest for the cartoonists and different titles. For this year, the title is Public's Desire. There will be 6 prizes for the contest and People's Choice Award to 8 or 10 cartoonists by letting observers vote their favorite.
Well, the title People's Desire is just for the contest, and for those who are not to compete, it is free to participate in the festival with any kind of expression.
အဲ့ထက်မှာတကယ်ကိုရင်ကတ်တွန်းဆရာကြီးတွေပါတယ်လို့အခုမှစံပြီးရေးတဲ့ကတ်တွန်းဆရာကြီးလည်းပါပါတယ်
Among the cartoonists participating in this festival, there are senior cartoonists as well as the new cartoonists who are just starting their career. Wu Ba-chan Cartoon Festival will be considered providing the first step for the fresher cartoonists.
Back then, the cartoons were presented to the public only during the festival. So to make the cartoons available longer, the in-charge committee has published the cartoons by producing the books as remembrance. This is the fourth time now, and the cartoonists are coming to the festival to sign on the books for the audience.
130နီးပါးတော့စာအုပ်ထဲမှာပါတယ်ပေါ့နော်မှတ်တရဖြစ်နေအန်တီတို့ကရောင်းပေး
About 130 out of all cartoons displayed here are included in the published book. We set the book as a memorable thing of the festival at a relatively cheap price, which is only 1,000 chats. And we can see that people coming to the festival like to buy the cartoon books because all are sold out every year.
This cartoon festival is so much satisfying, so I usually come to enjoy the cartoons every year. I also bought the cartoon books and asked for the signs of the cartoonists. I bought 5 books, both for me to keep and to give others as present. For me, I like reading the cartoons, so this festival is enjoyable for me.
The cartoons reflect the current situations of the present age to give the different feelings to the observers. The cartoonists and the public expect to continue this festival in the upcoming years as well. That's all for now. This is Dora Susan from MI Radio.
And that's all the reports we have. Now let's carry on with international news here on Myanmar Today. Drone maker DJI has demonstrated a way to quickly identify a nearby drone and pinpoint the location of its pilot via a smartphone. The technique makes use of a protocol called Wi-Fi Aware, with which the drone essentially broadcasts information about itself. The company said it would help prevent security threats and disruption and give members of the public peace of mind. But experts believe sophisticated criminals would still be able to circumvent detection. DJI told the BBC it could add the functionality to drones already on the market via a software update. Climate activist Greta Thunberg will sail from the US to UN Climate Summit in Spain by hitching a ride with 2 sailing YouTubers. The 16-year-old had planned to travel to Chile, but the country pulled out of hosting the COP25 climate meeting because of protests there. She refuses to travel by air because of its environmental impact. Ms. Thunberg had planned to travel slowly to Chile through the Americas. 2 weeks ago, she put out a call for help on social media. But last month, Chilean President Sebastián Piñera announced that the South American country could no longer host the event after serious anti-government protests. Frightened fish, shy bears, sarcastic owls, and birds that were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. These are the Comedy Wildlife Photography Awards finalists. It was taken by Sarah Skinner in Botswana and shows a lion cub playing. The young lioness continues to thrive in the pride, according to Sarah, who also wanted to encourage everyone as a collective to do their best to help conserve wildlife, so that future generations can enjoy them in the same way she has during her career. Well, that's going to wrap it up on today's Myanmar Today. Thank you for joining me. I am Henry Zin.